Hello, this is Judy. Thanks for joining me here today on day 13 of Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches. And I followed this sketch but didn't. I went on my own to work on these wedding photos. So I pulled out some old papers from close to my heart, very vintage, and cut them. I believe they were 6 by 6. So I layered it onto a scrap piece of white, and that was my base. So there you can see I'm just using a runner to adhere them down. And I don't need a lot of glue. They're pretty secure, so I don't want to waste my tape, right? And I already matted my photos onto white, and I'll probably follow that design throughout the album for these wedding photos. So I thought I'd add some ribbon to divide those papers, and I'm using some pressure sensitive tape to hold it down because it's pretty secure. You can't use liquid with tape with the ribbon because it will show through and it doesn't really hold, but this stuff holds pretty good. You need to remember to adhere it onto the back of the layout, right? Make it secure so they don't pop up in a couple years. So now I'm going to start with the actual layout, and I brought out a bunch of things that I thought I could use, including this stamp set from Close to My Heart. It's from It's the Little Things Special, and this Cherish stamp set. Sorry, the camera was a little wiggly there. So I stamped out Cherish, which is going to be my title, and toffee ink. And I'm going to distress it with the toffee ink after I layer it onto another piece of toffee. I'm using a sponge dauber with this, and I rubbed off the ink onto the stamp pad lid. It helps to distribute the ink onto the dauber. And now I'm really making this distressed. I love the look. And on to stamping my journaling box, and I will do all my journaling off camera because it's kind of personal, but I love the look of the toffee with this layout. It's so pretty. Now I'm going to do something I probably shouldn't, but you're supposed to put your stamps on the smallest block you can to avoid getting any ink anywhere on the block. So I kind of twisted it onto the block to make it fit, and a lot of times I don't get a straight stamped image then, but I did okay this time, and now I'll distress that to match the title as well. It's time to adhere the photos down, so I brought out my T-square ruler, and I'm going to use that to make sure I get everything straight. And now I'm using some really cool wood letters from Close to My Heart. These are so delicate. They're just the perfect touch for a wedding vintage layout. And I'm going to spell out this day, and I'm using a liquid glue and then tapping it off onto the scrap paper to make sure I don't have a lot of glue underneath the letter when I put it on my layout, because that can be really yucky. And did you know that you can cut the glue dots with these micro tip nonstick scissors from Close to My Heart? Yeah, it might stick a little bit, but if you're careful, it's okay. So those big glue dots, I didn't want a lot, and trying to tear them in half by hand, yeah, it doesn't work. So I'm going to use glue dots to adhere this metal piece and some thread to it for a bow. I used some fun foam and liquid adhesive to adhere that title, just to pop it up and give it some extra dimension and distinguish it. And now I'm bringing out some flowers and leaves from different stamp sets from Close to My Heart. The flowers are from the Now and Forever collection we just had in February, and I just love it. I had a bunch left over from some cards that I made, and I'm also going to color the leaves and the little rosebuds with the ink, so stay tuned for that. And on to some finishing touches. I brought out these metal gears and wheels that I had in my stash forever and used those as well. Added a really nice touch. And I also brought some paper clips out. Now we're moving on to inking the images, and I just squeezed my ink pad and got the ink from the lid with my water brush and added some color to those leaves and the flower buds. I used sage ink and scarlet ink. Those are the colors that matched best. And I also used toffee. Okay, I'm done with the layout, and one thing I wanted to mention for the finishing touches was splatters, and I used the acrylic paints from Dina Wakley that Close to My Heart carries. I used the white, and then I brought in some red and pink from my stash. Love how that looks. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for joining me, and make sure you check out everyone else who is doing this sketch today. Thanks. Bye.